Well, the modern world is certainly here with improved access to the internet. More and more services are becoming available in the digital world. You can order food, clothes, and even find a date online. Speak to Jeffrey Stevens. But what's the cost of living an online life financially and emotionally? In a special eNCA feature, Lindokuhle, Xulu and Ditiro, Selepe spent the weekend isolated from the real world. They join me now. Good morning to both of you. How was it?
I think one of the things that I've picked up from this particular weekend is that we were supposed to be isolated from the real world, but I've noticed that we were actually isolated from the real world before we got into that area, because I was tasked with the, well, first of all, we were given a budget. Each of us had to host a dinner party of some sort, and I had to do it, obviously, the digital way. Ditiro had to do it, the old-fashioned way. And I can tell you, from my side, the experience, I've always done it the old-fashioned way, and haven't done it digitally so. And with the very same budget, I believe I am now liberated, and I am now living in the real world, and I was isolated before. But I guess Ditiro Selepe has been disagreeing with me throughout the weekend, saying that the old-fashioned way still has pegs, still has some pros to it. But
well, I'd like to think that old-fashioned dinner parties would trump a dinner party online. Yeah,
because I hosted a braai. I hosted a braai. It was a socializing event. You chill with people, you interact. He, on the other hand, was sitting on his phone throughout the whole time ordering. I was in the interaction of making the food and everything. And
having proper conversations, face-to-face, real, genuine, touchy-feely.
And the body movement of moving up and down rather than sitting on the couch the whole day and just clicking your phone away.
One thing that I want to do say is that Fourth Industrial Revolution, the Internet of Things, all of these phrases mean exactly one thing, that we are moving towards that space. So both of you need to be acclimatized to that. But more particularly, the advantage about actually shopping online, it's painless, it's quicker, and you have more time to actually interact with people rather than batting trolleys on the aisles of certain shops. So Ditiro wanted to go and fill the oranges and tomatoes himself, while I wanted to spend time with the actual guests that I called at my event, at my dinner party. So that's the difference, right? Because it saves time. It's convenient that someone else is doing your bidding while they are making money as well. And I simply cannot see
you are sold, aren't you? And price-wise, is the real world or current world, away from the phone, is that cheaper or more expensive?
If I could look at old school, he could come with the argument that it's cheaper because you don't travel, you don't drive to the store. It's convenient. You don't stand in the aisles and wait to be serviced. You don't stand in traffic. So yeah, it's relatively cheaper.
It's cheaper to be online. It's painless to be doing things online, and there's no arguing around it. We are moving towards that space, and we need to just...
Okay, what I want to know is who felt better from a psychological, emotional point of view? I mean, who felt more satisfied after this weekend?
I'll tell you one thing. There's nothing as more satisfying as showing off to someone that I can do it better. And that's exactly what this weekend was about. He had a braai, and he said it was an interactive thing. He went out there, thought he would save. But instead, when I had my barbecue, there was starters, there was snacks, there was everything, there was games, charades online that I'm using apps to actually entertain this crowd. And,
I had games too. I had games too. We played 30 seconds, we played cards. You know the feeling of starting something and finishing off. That feeling of, I did this, I started the fire, we bribed everybody that.
Ditiro, I think I'm in your camp. Lindo, I'm worried. I think we have to have a word with them.
If the argument is mine was nice too, then...
Thanks, guys.
Thank you, Jay.
I just want to see those visuals. That's all I want to see.